Hi. So I was actively talking about, suggestions for what it could tell me in the comments below, just in case, you don't have any ideas. Um, and I was suggesting that you could tell me, how early you would watch Christmas movies. And I was trying to say, confession, I've already started watching them. And thank God I had already said that, I write books. They're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. They are The Rolling Sea Beginnings, Book 1, Pirate's Daughter, Rolling Sea Beginnings, Book 2, Misfortune, The Rolling Sea Beginnings, Book 3, Hard Times, The Rolling Sea Traitor, Book 1, The Island, Rolling Sea Traitor, Book. No, Rolling Sea Traitor Book 1, Esperanza's Party, The Rolling Sea Traitor Book 2, The Island, and a separate book, a separate series called Adopted, and the first book is Coral, and that is for children. There will be a link to each one of my books in the description below, whether you're watching me on Twitch or YouTube. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and please get those valid public watch hours up. If you're watching me on Twitch right now, you're probably pretty dang confused why it keeps dying. But please follow and chat. Now, what I was saying though is you could, as a suggestion, comment, how early you think is too early to start watching Christmas movies. Some people start on December 1st. Some people won't watch them until, say, December 15th. Some people start watching them in November. Some people, um, watch them all year round, which, if I need something to make me happy, I could put in a whole bunch of our Christmas movies and it'll make me feel better. Not if I watch a Mom for Christmas, because I'm usually the thing that I'm upset about is that Mom's not here. It's like, I know where she is. I am not worried about that in the least. But, you know, it's just that she's not here with us. And it's, Christmas time. Well, now it's Christmas time. Today is Black Friday, and if you're actually watching this, I'd be very surprised, but yeah, today's Black Friday 2025, and um, I hope that stores actually have deals this year instead of what Walmart has done in the past, which is, those little $10 throw blankets. They'll make them 15 or $20 for, say, the month of October and November, and then they'll bring it back down to the $10 that it was the whole time, the whole year. They'll bring it back to that price on Black Friday. So then you think you're getting a deal, but you're really not. Or instead of having the 500 gig, I think it was, Xboxes for for instead of having the 500 gig Xboxes for $500, bring out ones that have 250 gigs, which isn't very much. They'll have 250 gigs and charge you uh, either that 250 or they'll charge you 500, but they don't tell you that it's half the capacity. People bought so many of those that year, and Walmart probably made a mint, but they did not tell you that it was half the capacity. People just saw that it was an Xbox and it was half the price of a regular one. But then, if you got a smart husband like mine that goes and looks at um, the specs on the um, the information on the box, you find out it's 250, and you're basically paying $1 for each gig, you know. Because I wanted, I think that year I wanted to Xbox, either I wanted the Xbox One or I wanted um, the Xbox Series S, something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, I wanted the um, if I couldn't have, I, I know the one year if I couldn't have a Series X like my husband, I wanted a Series S at the very least. Um, and we couldn't afford to get me either one for the longest time, but we finally did. I've got a Series X just like he does. Um, and anyway, whatever the Xbox was that I wanted to get that year, it was half the capacity of the one that my husband had, and he kept telling me, "No, I'm not getting you that one. I want to get you the other one." And I'm like, "Fine," because I still had Xbox One at the time. Um, and I needed an upgrade because something, you know, there was something I was having a problem with, and I don't remember what it was, but probably storage. Like I could have 5 game, or I think I had 6 games on there, and it was telling me I'm full. I can't do anything more. You know, I don't think it was that tragic, but it might have been. Um. Anyway, the internet's gone out twice today, or was it 3 times? Something like that. Um. I. Okay, so it went out during Pac-Man, and uh I think it went out. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it went out during golf. After I was all done and ready to get off anyway. But I'm not sure. I know it went out during Pac-Man, and it just went out on this uh part of the stream today too. So yeah, having a bad internet day, and it looks bright and sunny outside. Yeah, supposedly bright and sunny outside. Well, we got a new router modem, but the thing is that if it would have been my box, I would have either shipped it in a smaller box that fit more snugly, or I would have put a lot more packing material into it, wrapped it up in bubble wrap or something. So if it does not work, I'm going to be very angry, and I'm going to be demanding. Uh, I don't get a say in it. They talk to my husband all the time, but I'm going to be demanding Disney without commercials. And they keep saying, we can't do that. It's like, well, you damn well better do it. Dang well better do it. Because, this is ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous. Um, they keep saying it's because it's trying to, um, there's supposedly three 5G towers around here, and then there's one 4G tower, something like that. Anyway, and ours is trying to connect to the 4G, so we're getting an interrupted signal. And I think that is so stupid. She even tried pressing the button to make sure that it would not try to connect to the 4G, and it did not work. I personally think that we need a cell tower in our neighborhood. But that's me, and nobody agrees with me, so. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So we got 6 more sets of houses. Dang. And somewhere in here, we need to figure out which one Dawn's house is. That's only important because the one house, she's got one of those big porches. It's not like the little front stoop thing here, but they're standing on that, and her dad is drunk. And when her dad gets drunk, um, he starts yelling if dinner's not done on the table, ready to go when he gets home. And then he starts being mean to Dawn's mom. And so the one time Craig is gonna pick up Dawn to spend the night in a guest room somewhere in the mansion, because she knows it's not going to be good if she stays. And when he goes to pick her up, Craig sees that her dad hit her mom. So he goes and stops him, and all he did was like catch the fist that was coming at his head, but then he pushed him back, and like he hit his head on the ground or something like that. So he's knocked out, but he's gonna be okay. He's knocked out, but he's gonna be okay, kind of thing. So, um, so I think he offered to take Dawn and her mom out to dinner, and he did. And somewhere in there, the cops showed up, and they were about to arrest Craig. And Dawn's mom's like, "No, take my husband. He's drunk, and he hit me, and 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 anyway, so the dad got taken. I don't remember either one of their names, so please bear with me. But anyway, Dawn's dad gets taken to the jail, and Dawn's mom and Dawn get taken out to dinner at the burger joint, and then uh, it's either that time or the other time. Her mom ends up at the neighbor's house, and then she's gonna take she's gonna somehow get over to her sister's house, who lives in a different town. I think that's not, it wasn't important to the plot. It's not important to the storyline. It's just she's at her sister's. So then, anyway, they end up going to the mansion, and Dawn is sleeping in a guest room, and Craig is supposed to be sleeping in his room, or Craig is sleeping on the floor in his room, and I mean, on the floor in his parents' room, and she's sleeping in his room, something like that, anyway. And, but somebody says something about, she's in a guest room and he's in his room, and neither one of them slept there that night. So, anyway. Yeah. Um, so when I went to high school, there was, those kids that knew about kissing, and then there was the other kids that didn't know about kissing. And, the guy of the relationship was bragging to his friends in class about, kissing his girlfriend. Well, I always thought that was kind of rude. Seriously, doubt it. It said 883, and it was Incline Village. That's the problem though, because like if like say somewhere in South Lake Tahoe was having a really cool like say a radio competition, and if you answer the question correctly, you win um you win a trip to Tahoe, or you know all expense paid trip to Disneyland or something like that. I wouldn't be able to answer it because I'm sure it wouldn't come up as such and such radio station, you know. Um it would probably be K Bull, Bull, the country station, but I actually like those radio stations where it's got all kinds of different music. You know, like um the ones that would be playing maybe Walk Like an Egyptian, and then it um if you love it, put a ring on it, or whatever the real words are. Um and then you might hear Kissed by a Rose, and I like those kind of radio stations. I miss the radio station from, I want to say, Vacaville, California. Um, it's KUIC, and I totally miss it because uh, it's one of those radio stations that would be playing all that different kind of stuff. But after a while, they said, "Oh, we only play Bangles music, like music from the 80s on Thursday," or something like that. And I'm like, what the heck? You know, because it was saying 80s, 90s, and today, and then I was asking for a very specific song, and it didn't play. I mean, they wouldn't play it because they only play it on, like I said, they only play it on Thursday, or they only play it on Saturday, or something like that. I can't remember what the deal was. Like, if I could set it up that way, I would want to go somewhere in that area. Even if it was the Sacramento Zoo, which isn't that great, but it's not that bad either. Um, it's a rather small zoo, and the last time I went there, I mean, we went there because it was me, my mom, and my daughter. Um, it's our daughter, but I call her my daughter because at the time he wasn't the daddy. I mean, he was the father, he wasn't the daddy. But anyway, last time we went there, the lion's wife had just died, and they got these little tiny areas for their animals too. I didn't like that. But anyway, the lion's wife had just died, so he was very depressed. And like most of the cages for the animals were empty. I think they had a giraffe, and they might have had a tiger, but I know they had a lion, and they had the little reptile house. But that was about it. That I remember anyway. I mean, maybe there's some memory not there, maybe there's, I don't remember it perfectly. Since the last time we were there, she was like 3 years old. Maybe, might have even been 2. Anyway, it was forever ago. We wanted to go to San Francisco Zoo one time, and I don't know that we ever made it. To my knowledge, my son has not been there. I I'm not sure, but I don't think my husband's been there since he was like 4. Because it was like um a preschool trip or maybe kindergarten. All we can I mean all they can remember um is that one of the moms, my mother-in-law does not drive. So one of the moms that they rode with had a Toyota. Um I mean, the mom that agreed to take them had like a Toyota or something like that, and it had a sunroof. So literally, my mother-in-law like had her head out the sunroof because she's 5'10". So yeah. Okay. Well, it's 10:43, so I guess we'll continue. Because we try to go until 11. Depending on how many of these houses I get done, I may just decide, okay, fine, let's finish this next 7 as well. And yeah, but I don't know if that's what we're gonna do or not. It's not too bad. It's only been a half an hour so far. Not even that yet, but it's only off by, like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. I don't like it when somebody says it's been a half an hour and it's like 25 minutes. So, or like when you're writing a book, if like, say, if you say that, you know, um, Jonah, baby Jonah, we'll call him. Um, if baby Jonah is supposed to be there in, I mean, in the corner for 5 minutes because he hit his sister, which he wouldn't do, but that's not the point here. Um, but if he's like in the corner for 5 minutes and then 2 minutes later, it said 2 minutes later he went and played in his room with Leonardo, then that's not okay, you know? I may be alone on this thought, but um, I tend to think that's not okay. He's got to be in the corner for 5 minutes. I don't usually get that detailed, but if I need to, I can. With something like that, I probably would get that detailed, but with other stuff, like they're out on the ocean and they need to get from the part where they're at the mansion and they've just gotten onto the ship to, like, say, being on the island and crashing into the sandbar. you know I try to get that vaguely detailed. Like they're at the mansion and then all of a sudden, um, a few days later or a week later or whatever, they're at that island. I think time frames don't really make sense in my books, but But, like, I'm going on the idea that um, it's, you can go to New York and catch the cruise ship. I think it's New York anyway. Catch the cruise ship and have a 2-week cruise to Ireland. So that to me says that you can get to um, Ireland faster than you used to be able to, like when the Mayflower was a sailing ship. And, everybody's saying the Mayflower, the Mayflower, the Mayflower. Well, what happened to the Mayflower? Did it go down? I mean, did it eventually go down in a storm? Did they, have to cut it up and use it for firewood? Is it maybe in a Spanish museum somewhere? Like the mothball fleet in California? Um, I just thought of that. What happened to that ship? That's another thing you can comment. Like earlier I was saying that I would love it if people would leave comments on my videos and one of the things I was suggesting is like you could tell me how early you start watching Christmas movies, or do you not watch Christmas movies? Because I am guessing that if you're from another culture, maybe you don't watch Christmas movies because you don't celebrate Christmas. But also, maybe you don't watch Christmas movies because you've seen them all once, and you're one of those people that once you've seen a movie once, you're not gonna watch it again. Um, but that's the thing about Christmas movies. That's what people usually do. Christmas movies are like those kind of movies that you watch every year because they make you feel good and make you feel happy. Um, or some of them, watch them out of habit. Because, like, you know, watching Home Alone, I know that's not a popular opinion, but watching Home Alone, I'm like yelling at the mom because she's not even trying to listen to her kid and find out why he's acting up. She just wants to yell at him. And then, like the whole family's acting like he's, this diseased Martian that needs to go back to the moon or whatever. That was not actually supposed to be a poke at ET, but kind of sounded like it, huh? 'Cause at one point ET gets sick and at one point ET gets sick and he's like mentally um ET set it up to where like whatever he's feeling, his human friend Elliot is also feeling that. Hold on, that one might be legit. I seriously doubt it, but hello? Well, Firestone's gonna be pissed that they're using their number. Um, and I don't even know if there is a Wells, Nevada. I don't pretend to know every place in Nevada, but um, it's like just because we live here doesn't mean that we know all the cities, right? You know, like when we lived in California, I didn't know some of. I mean, I still don't know some of the cities in California, but I knew enough of them. Anyway, this is life with um the filter on, and I think it would just be a lot worse if I didn't have the filter on. Oh, that's another thing you could tell me in the comments below if you want to. Obviously this is all if you want to. You could tell me how early do you put up your Christmas tree? And it's definitely a question this year because I put mine up this year. I put mine up Sunday. The Sunday before Thanksgiving. I put it on. I put it up then. And yesterday I made sure to keep the Christmas lights off because then it felt like it was Thanksgiving. And then today I've got them on because it feels like Christmas. Oh, and I thought it was hilarious in a totally good way. Ben was looking up at the Christmas tree, and we don't know if he was doing his usual thinking about snacking on the Christmas tree, or if he was being a good boy and we just um, told him no to be, on the safe side, because it doesn't matter what kind of tree you have. Um, Christmas tree is bad for your cat. Well, I was just about to tell Ben no, but his little brother Sam, they're not, blood related. They're just, little brother because they're kitty, uh, my kitty sons. We adopted them, so they're brothers. Um, anyway, Sam walks up to Ben and says no, and Ben walked away. And yes, he said the actual word. He said no. And, you know, he's learned all this stuff because he wanted to learn it. We haven't been like actively trying to teach him how to say words, since he's a cat. And I knew it was possible, but like we weren't actively trying to teach him. And he learned, just from listening to us. So I get kind of upset when there's videos that say cat talks better than human because they're usually just going meow, and that's not talking. Now the cats that do talk, um like Bobby knows how to say love, and Sam knows how to say a handful of words. Ben has been um, Ben has been known to go around the house going Coral, Coral. That was an apartment actually, and how he lost Coral in that tiny little apartment, I'll never know. But he really did. He was saying Coral, and he used to know some other words. I don't remember which ones, but he used to know a few other words. Not as many as Sam. Okay. Anyway, so I've got my Christmas tree up, and I've had it up since Sunday, and I'm happy about that. And it just seems like such a hassle to go and have the Christmas tree up. I mean, put the Christmas tree up, and then, you know, you put it up. Usually, I end up not having any help. So, you put the Christmas tree up on like December 15th, which I always want it earlier, but, I'm like so busy trying to edit my books that it ends up being, um, it ends up being, uh, later than that. Uh, I think I literally put it on December 15th or December 21st last year. It was so late, and we didn't have the Christmas tree up, and I think we did have the Santa hat, but that was about it. We've got a Santa hat that says Merry Christmas on it. So I usually put that at the top of my TV, but I realized that it was like overheating it the other day, and I decided, no, I don't want to mess up my TV. We definitely cannot afford a new one. Okay. Well, it's 11. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we just gotta, finish this and do the roof, and I think we'll be done with this one. And then the question becomes, do we keep going for a little bit, or do we not? I don't know. I just know that yesterday it was Thanksgiving, right? So American Thanksgiving. Um I'm only saying it that way because, um on Garfield's Thanksgiving we find out that, a whole bunch of other countries do Thanksgiving as well, and like one of them has it on the second Monday in October, and I think Japan does Harvest Home Day Anyway, somebody does Harvest Home Day. Um, and offering a bowl of rice. I don't know. Anyway, I've heard that speech so many times and I don't know it by heart yet. So, anyway, yeah, I feel like I got a lot done yesterday because I got at least 2 pages in my book done and I got, I would have gotten more done except for A, I fell asleep, and B, that'll make more sense in a minute. And B, I got okay, so I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's explain this in order. I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and went upstairs, did what I needed to do, came back down, turned on the parade. So, I think that was the Philadelphia parade. And I left that on the screen, but then um I realized that the Fox one was the one from New York City. So I went and switched over to that one and watched that until the end. But it was only an hour long, and I was like, okay, that's weird, but if you didn't have commercials, then maybe that's how long it is. Well, then I was watching the YouTube video, and it had some more balloons than the other one did. And I'm like, what the heck? So then I, um, so then I put after the parade was done on the TV, I went and changed it to the other channel because that one still had a parade going, the Philadelphia parade going on because they are not only celebrating they weren't just celebrating Thanksgiving. They were celebrating, um, 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 they were kind of doing a 4th of July parade at the same time. And a lot of the stuff in the whole parade was pink. And I didn't understand that at all. But, at least one of the parade floats was a red, white, and blue thing, and it looked pretty awesome. Um, but so I watched well, I watched parts of the Philadelphia parade. I thought it was really cool, like when they did the dance numbers, because you never get to see the dance numbers on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade anymore. I think the No, I don't even think you got to see them when it was Mario Lopez hosting when the new Saved by the Bell came out. I want to say 2021. No, I think it was 2020. I might watch that today. I know Thanksgiving's over, but I might watch that today. Just 'cause I can. And that's something that, I could play on, I could play it from YouTube and not have to worry about, um, oh, it's 11:07. Dang it. Okay, how many more in this set? One, two, three, four, five. Oi. Okay. Yeah, and this is 50 minutes. So I will get all the ones down at the bottom done, and a jump scared me. So it's supposed to be a just about innocent thing that, makes you scared for a moment, makes you kind of jump in your seat, and then you're okay. That's what a jump scare's supposed to be, but, people go and label a whole bunch of different things jump scares nowadays, and it kind of bugs me. Um, anyway, because I could do this whole set, but I don't think I'm going to. The video's already 51 minutes long, and yeah. So, besides, I have to go upstairs again. And I have to go and get my husband up because I realize that he has a day off today, but I feel like I'm all alone. There's no kitties trying to get my attention. There's no kitties using me as a kitty bed. Well, if I go and anyway, so um I think I said this already, but I write books and they are available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. And they are The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 1, Pirate's Daughter, The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 2, Misfortune, The Rolling Sea, The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 3, Hard Times, and coming next year will be The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 4, Finding Love. And hopefully coming out this year. Oh, wait a minute. Then there's later in the series, there's the Rolling Sea Traitor Book 1, Esperanza's Party, the Rolling Sea Traitor Book 2, The Island, and the one I'm working on right now that should be coming out this year, sometime in December, the Rolling Sea Traitor Book 3, Lessons in Love. I'm hoping that's the way it works. Also, the Rolling Sea Traitor Book 4, Test in Love. Wait, did I say Traitor Book? Beginnings Book 4, Finding Love? I hope so. Anyway. So I was gonna end this, and then I was like, well, if I work on it for a little while longer, I can have this at a solid hour, and hopefully that'll happen. What's tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow is Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. So yesterday, Thanksgiving Day, I made a short video, although some people may think it's not that short, but I did a short video where I needed to find deer, a hen, and a mountain lion. And I was close enough to that mountain lion that it could have tried to eat me if it wanted to, and it didn't. So I got an excellent picture, and I got an excellent picture, and I got to live. So when I went down the street, I made sure that I let the mountain lion live for once. Usually I get mad at it. I get separated from my car. When I finally found my car, um, like either I didn't get the picture, or I got the picture just before it ate me. um, Whatever. But I get separated from my car, and then as soon as I find it, I run over the first mountain lion I see. um, oh, this is on GTA, by the way, not in real life. I think trying to run over a mountain lion would be kind of like trying to run over a bear. Your crumple zones would be crumply, and it would not be a good thing. Um, okay. Yeah, so one of my movies that I have, and I'm a moody watcher of it, is a movie with Olivia Newton-John, the one from Grease that played Sandy. Um, she also played Kira on Xanadu, which I think sounded better on videotape, but that's me. Um, but on the other hand, I kept saying in some of my videos that um they needed to fix the sounds on the movie Grease, because there's uh there's a part during Stranded at the Drive-In um where there's this car, and they press their horn 3 times, so it's honk honk honk, and then he holds his hands up like, okay, okay, sorry, I'm in your way, kind of like somebody surrendering to a bad guy. Anyway, and he goes and sits down on the swing right in front of the right in front of the movie screen, and he continues singing the song. Well, um, anyway, for the longest time on the DVD, that sound wasn't there. And it made no sense, and people like me must have told them that it made no sense. It was the only sound that wasn't in there. And, um, it was literally the only sound that wasn't in there, and it didn't make any sense. So, he's like singing the song, um, and then he just holds up his hands, it didn't make any sense. So anyway, they finally fixed it, and I got a copy that has um, I think I have a copy that has the sound in it now. I know that when we went to go see it in the theater, the year that Olivia Newton-John passed away, um, they definitely had that sound in there. Of course, they also had um, the part where they're going ba ba bumba ba ba bumba. They weren't even singing it right. Because it's la ba bumba. Um, well, maybe they were singing it right, but they weren't singing the la part at all. But anyway, um, they were singing ba 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 ba. But anyway, there's supposed to be a in the theater version, the movie theater version, there's um a beach ball in there, and some guy was playing Slinky or yo-yo or something like that in the background. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. I've been literally watching this movie since 1978, and I can say that. Well, okay, I wasn't watching it. I was listening to it in 1978, but we used to watch it every year, every time that it would come on TV, every year. And that's been one of my favorite movies. Like, I can fall asleep to that one. It makes me feel um it makes me feel happy and contented and safe, and like I've literally been um watching it and listening to it all my life. Um because my mom wanted to go see Grease in the theater, and for some reason my two aunts were either too busy or too poor to go watch the movie. And my dad was at work, and so it ended up that the only person who would go with her was me because she was pregnant with me at the time. Anyway, I love that story, so yeah, I'm probably gonna keep sharing that one. But um, anyway, I was telling you about A Mom for Christmas because Olivia Newton-John happened. Olivia Newton-John. I keep saying it so fast that I figure it's coming out gibberish. Um. Oh, okay, we're past an hour now. Um. Anyway, she's in this movie. There, there's a girl. I'm gonna call her Samantha, but I don't think that's her name. Um. Anyway, Samantha doesn't have a mom because her mom passed away, and so she walks up to this mannequin, and she sees that it's the mom mannequin and the daughter mannequin, and they've got a little puppy dog too. That's a mannequin. And um she's telling Fiona. Well, we'll call her Fiona. I don't know if that was her name. I don't think it was. Um but anyway, she's telling Fiona that she wants a mom for Christmas. And this is after she got her they had a wishing well thing that you can, just go and grab a prize, and her friend got this really nice bracelet, and she got a wish. And so it ends up that she wished her mom for Christmas, and that's what she got, Olivia Newton-John as her mom for Christmas. Um, Her dad put in a thing for a nanny, so it's kind of like Mary Poppins that way. But anyway, but she shows up, and then she's gonna be there until Christmas. Well, on Christmas night, she's like, I don't want to give her up. I don't want to give her up. And Fiona's like, okay, we gotta do this, and if we hold on to her real tight and really care about the thing, then uh, I mean, really put our wanting to keep her into the idea, maybe we can keep her. Because otherwise, she's going to be one of those mannequins with no face. And, they were like all the rage in the uh, late 90s, late 80s, early 2000s, something like that. Whenever this movie was made, because I can't remember. Um, anyway, she'll become one of the ones with no face, and the ones with no face. That's the other thing. The mannequins, um, like at midnight, they can be or uh, anyway after the store closes, they can be alive for 2 hours. I think it is. Um, they can be alive for like 2 hours after the store closes, and they have to be back in the exact position that they were in before they left. Otherwise, they'll get frozen like the toys on uh, the Christmas toy. But anyway, um, so it's a good movie. But since I don't have my mom, it makes me sad. So I mean, I've got mom. I don't have mama. Sorry, I was getting confusing. I know. But yeah, since I don't have mama, it makes me sad, and I don't want to be sad. So um, well, we're gonna finish this front here, and then we're gonna hop off because I need to go upstairs, and I need to eat something, and ugh. Yeah, I said I was gonna get off here. Okay, so I guess I will. If I didn't say it, if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and please get those valid public watch hours up. I either need to get valid public watch hours up, or I need people to watch my shorts 10 million times. My short views. I mean, my short videos. Um, technically it needs to be 3 million and then 10 million, but we'll just call it 10 million. If I get people to watch my short views, that'd be really cool. Um, yeah, so I, yeah. So I will see you in the next stream or video.